I would say it's Steve Garufi.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, I just want to make sure it wasn't like Garufi.
Well, he's here, so we'll ask him if we butchered it.
So he's bicycled across America twice. I got to find out what this is all about. We'll talk to him next after a quick break here on the Morning Sports page on 98.1 The Ticket. 8:18. I knew I liked this guy, Matt.
You did? How did you know?
Well, when he walked in the room, this is Steve Garufi. He's here with us this morning. But I knew I liked you. Now I flipped over your book. He gave the show an autographed copy of his book called Under Triumphant Sky: A Bike Across America Story. And on the back, looky here.
What does it do?
Graduate of Denver Seminary.
Oh, there you go.
I love that.
A seminary guy.
I'm a graduate of Dallas Seminary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we rivals, Dallas and
No.
Yeah, y'all believe in different stuff.
Not really. I mean, we've actually had some of your professors down to do some stuff at Dallas before.
I think that's true.
Yeah. So how about that? How cool is that? I knew I liked the guy.
I love guys from Colorado.
Dude, in Denver
They're
Seminary,
cool.
I love Denver Seminary. I really actually thought about going there. I really did. So, well, welcome to the show.
Well, it's great to be here. I've been spending a few days here in Abilene, speaking at various places. I went riding with the cycling club with Hart and Simmons. So we went riding out on the highway about 10 miles out with the headwind, too.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Texas. You've got a lot of headwinds here, right? You go almost any direction you go, you get a headwind.
Well, the beauty is I've biked across America twice, and that's what my book is about. On each of my trips, I went across Texas, just a little bit north of Abilene, one time on Highway 380, and I had an incredible tailwind. I rode the longest I've ever ridden in one day. I went 126 miles.
Wow.
Because the wind was just slamming against me. Maybe it was like 30, 35 miles an hour.
You made some mileage.
That's unbelievable. He actually brought a map. We'll take a picture of it and tweet it out. He brought a map. So he's ridden across America back in 2008 and then again in 2011, and he's shown the route. So Florida, I guess Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, a little Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California. First of all, before we even talk about biking across America, are you a lifelong cyclist? Is that something, or somewhere in your life you just said, you know what, I'm going to start cycling? Tell me the story about that.
Well, I mean, I had a bicycle as a kid. So, I rode around the neighborhood like most kids. It wasn't until I was 31, 32 that I took up cycling. And all of a sudden I realized, wow, the fitness is just incredible for staying in shape. So it's been roughly about 10, 11 years now that I've just been riding. It's been wonderful.
You obviously love riding. You don't just ride across America twice if you don't love riding a bike. So you obviously love riding. It's important to you.
It's a great way to keep in shape. So I talk a lot about that. I actually talked to a physical education class, 4th grade, at Austin Elementary, talking about exercise and all that. And then also, it's a lot of fun when you're in the mountains in Colorado.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, some of the mountain passes it's really steep and grueling, but it's such an accomplishment, and it's so worth it when you're done. You feel so good.
And you're from Colorado, correct?
I grew up on the East Coast.
I got you. All right.
But I feel like I'm a Colorado native if I've lived there 18, 19 years
yes,
now.
I've been there a couple of decades. Whereabouts in Colorado?
Right now I live in Trinidad, Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
But I've only been there 6 months. I was in Buena Vista for 9.
Okay.
Which is a huge mountain. It's a mountain wonderland where it just snows from, early November to late April, and
That's got to cut into your bike riding time.
What do you do when
it's snowing? Yeah.
I mean, can you even leave your house? I mean, are you snowed into your house and go stir crazy?
It's probably not like us. It snows here. We freak out.
We stay in.
Used to it.
Well, the thing is, the scenery is so amazing. So even if it's really cold or snowy, and obviously I can only go to the gym if there's snow on the road.
Right. That's awesome. Well, talk about biking across America. Let's go back to the first time you went. What was going on? You just woke up one day and said, I'm going to ride all the way across the United States, or to give us the thought process behind that first trip.
Well, I started road biking, and I realized how much fun it was and how much I enjoyed it. So there was one year where I biked across Colorado. I took 1 week off work. Somebody dropped me off at the Kansas-Colorado state line, and I went across. And that was a lot of fun. And then I thought, okay, what if I just bike across a succession of states? And so I think it was 3 or 4 years later, that's when I biked across America, and I just viewed it as the ultimate challenge to go from coast to coast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, what were some of the challenges along the way? Surely it wasn't easy.
Well, on my first trip, and it's definitely included in my book, my bicycle was stolen.
No kidding?
Yeah, in Phoenix, Arizona. It was stolen.
Yeah, that makes it tough to get a new bike. What kind of bike do you have?
I just have it's a good basic road bike. So right now I've got a Trek 1.2.
So, but nothing like super fan, not one of those sit down, it's like a real bike that you sit up on?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's a big bike, and it has thin wheels, so it tends to go a little faster.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it's just you and the road then on these trips. I mean, no one else was biking with you, or I mean, you're by yourself, just biking away.
As crazy as it sounds, both times I went alone.
Wow.
I couldn't find anyone to go with me, and I was you have saddlebags on the side, and you carry all your extra clothing, your tools, your toothbrush, all that kind of stuff on the sides. And you'd be surprised, though, outside of cities, there's a lot of nothing. There's just a lot of open land, and especially when you get to West Texas, it's just you and the wind and the plains, and it's actually very peaceful.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, I assumed that maybe you had like somebody following you in an RV, and so when you got tired, you stop and chill out and relax. But no, you're just on the road by yourself.
Yeah, wow. Some people have that luxury, and I'm still open to somebody following me who wants to, so you can have Snapples and all sorts of drinks and stuff.
Snapple. It is from Colorado. Yeah, that is so awesome. Well, so after that, in 2008, what did it feel like when you got to the final stop? When you got to the West Coast and you were like, oh, well, there's water, I can't bike anymore. What was that feeling like the first time when you finished the whole entire trek?
First of all, I went west to east each time. I finished in Georgia.
Oh, okay, I got you. The other way.
I just felt kind of sad.
I studied Hebrew too much, so I was going right to left.
I felt sad. I was like, it's over? You mean I have to go home and, work again and have a normal life? And, I mean, I had grown accustomed to just having it me and my bicycle and just this lifestyle. I was almost like semi-homeless, but this athlete. And it was just so much fun to meet people along the road, talking to people. And
like Forrest Gump when he was running in the movie. Were people would come see you when you get to towns and stuff? Was there a lot of talk about you along the way, that kind of thing?
I was on social media, but no, I wasn't like Forrest Gump with crowds of people.
Well, if I'd have known you were coming through, I'd have jumped on my bike and rode with you at least a mile. That's about all I got in me, but that would have been blessed.
But I did have the Kennedy family in Whiteface, Texas, that I saw along the route. And there were a number of people along the route that I saw where they were so excited to see me. So it was amazing.
That is amazing. Visiting with Steve Garufi, author of the book Under a Triumphant Sky, a Bike Across America story. He's traveled across America on his bicycle twice. And so that was 2008 the first time. 2011, you decide you're just gonna do it again? What brought that about?
Yeah, I don't have children, so I don't know if this is the fitting analogy, but it's like you have one kid, and you're like, okay, let's have another kid. Let's do it again. Let's have another. And that's how it felt in 2011. I really wanted to do it again. And I just went for it. I mean, I had the opportunity with time and money, and you need roughly 7 weeks. And I was like, all right, let's just do it. Let's do it right now.
7 weeks. It takes 7 weeks, huh?
It did.
Wow.
It did.
That's amazing.
Do you stay in hotels at night or camp in a tent? Or, when it's nighttime and you're done for the day, what are you doing?
I personally stayed in the cheapest motels I could find every night. There are some people who bike across the country and they have their camping gear and they find some quiet place or in a town park or something like that. I want a shower.
Yeah.
I need a bed.
Yeah, after riding your bike all day, a shower was probably a good thing.
Yeah, I would think so.
No, and you took a little bit of a different route the second time. I noticed, so you're telling me you started in California. So same thing through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. But the second time you went up into Oklahoma and then towards the northern part of Mississippi, northern Alabama. So a different route, especially once you got to Texas.
Yeah, I actually, there were some friends in Little Rock and Memphis that I wanted to see. So
I got you.
I was in Anson, Texas, that little town.
Oh, Anson. Yeah, we know Anson well.
And so I was going east, and then I turned up north. And then for 3 straight days, from Anson all the way to Wichita Falls, I had a headwind. The wind was coming from the north, It was the most miserable riding.
And probably cold, too. Cold. It was a cold wind?
It wasn't too cold. It wasn't too bad, but it was just hard. I think I was in Seymour one day, that little town.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a great tour of all these little Texas towns, and
Wow.
a lot of evenings. The Dairy Queen. It seemed like Dairy Queens were like the social gathering place in these little Texas towns.
So you know what they say about Dairy Queen, right? The sign, it's a Texas stop sign. That's what they say about
You
Dairy
see, it's red,
Yeah.
and so we
Yeah.
stop.
That's a Texas stop sign. Everybody stops at Dairy Queen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, there you go. that is so. Out of all the states, which one is the most beautiful to ride through? And again, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, a bit of Tennessee and Georgia. Out of the states that you rode through on these 2 trips, what was the most beautiful part of the ride?
Well, I'm biased because I'm from Colorado and I love mountains.
Right.
So Arizona and New Mexico definitely at least have some mountains. They got some beautiful desert scenery. So I'd say definitely Arizona and New Mexico. Even Southern California has quite a few mountain passes and peaks. It is definitely not flat in Southern California. People don't realize that.
Yeah. That's so awesome. Steve Garufi joining us here this morning. He's ridden his bicycle across America twice. So tell us why you are in Abilene.
Well, I'm on a 1-week book tour.
Oh, cool.
I'm speaking at 5 libraries. I already spoke in Lamar, Colorado. This morning I'll be at the Downtown Library in Abilene. Then I'm heading over to Fort Smith, Arkansas, Bella Vista, Arkansas, and Joplin, Missouri. And I do presentations at libraries. I've got my map, my photos, my bicycle, and I just talk about funny stories, the hard times, and ultimately, I just want to encourage people to boldly follow their dreams, to travel, to be courageous in their life with whatever they want to pursue. And usually just turns into a fun conversation.
That's cool. So 10 o'clock at the Abilene Public Library downtown, the downtown.
That is correct.
Main branch downtown. Yeah, but I tell you what, you should go down there. You're inspiring, man. That's awesome. This is really, really cool. So tell us about the book. What is the book about? It's just kind of I noticed there's a lot of pictures in it, different sites along the way, but it's just basically kind of like the memoirs of your journey?
It is a memoir of the 7-week journey. I say that it's more than just a bicycle narrative or a journal. It's a human story.
Right.
I talk a lot about how I had to overcome all sorts of fears, all the problems I had to overcome, how I almost wanted to quit, at least on one occasion, and then, of course, having the stolen bike. And then also, I talk a lot about all the amazing people I met along the way. You know, and people always think about the negative, like, oh, you know, what's the one person who's going to do injury to you? But for the vast majority, I saw friends, I met strangers who gave me tours of their towns, and, you know, bike mechanics who fixed my bike and they refused to take my money.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. I noticed on the back of the book it says, with a raw faith in God, Jesus, his steely determination to honor an inner compass guides him to persist until he embraces his final moment of triumph. I want to read this thing. I know it's autographed to you, Matt. Can I borrow this and read it real quick?
You got it, man.
You don't mind? I want to read this. This is really cool.
See, now the pressure is on. It's one thing to be a big shot author, but then when people start reading your book,
Yeah.
No, there's nothing this is going to be great.
Did you ride your bike here this morning, or is there a car out in the parking lot?
there is a car out in the
okay.
parking lot. I drove down here.
Probably like a Lexus or BMW. You riding big?
I just have a little Honda Civic.
Oh, all right.
Oh, they don't. Guys from Colorado do not drive Beamers.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Well, you know what they say, in Colorado, you're not a true Coloradan unless you have a bicycle that's more expensive than your car.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I absolutely love the state of Colorado. It's one of my favorite places in the world to go. I love going to cabins in the middle of nowhere and holing up for days at a time. It's just, I love that place. A little bit envious of your journey. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's been great to talk to you about all this stuff. And I don't know if we have time to talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah.
Why, are you a
know,
fan?
Are you a Dallas Cowboy fan?
You know, I'm just a huge NFL fan, a fantasy football fan, and the
cool.
Broncos have grown on me over 20 years.
Well, yeah, you just won the Super Bowl, so now you're really a Broncos fan, right?
You have no idea how people were going crazy in Colorado.
Yeah, I bet.
I still can't believe they won.
No.
I really was thinking, no, they're going to blow it somewhere.
Yeah,
And
it
in the
was an
playoffs.
amazing run. It was truly amazing run. So you're a big fantasy football player, huh?
Yeah, the garbage cans.
That's the name of your team? That's awesome.
I'm a huge garbage cans fan. We're the 2012 world champions in my league. Yeah.
That's good.
I would expect you to have some sort of like a bicycle.
Who led you to that championship at quarterback? Was it Rodgers? You had Rodgers?
I actually had RG3.
Oh,
Yeah.
the 202012 season. Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
The 1 year he actually helped fantasy.
And with those rushing, yeah, he was dominant.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So the Dallas Cowboys, you know, that it is America's team, right?
Well, I mean, look.
I mean, everywhere you went.
Yeah.
I want to be diplomatic here.
No, you can say what you want. That's fair.
I'm really concerned about Jerry Jones's leadership,
Yeah.
and I really think he's sabotaging the team with a lot of poor decisions. I do kind of want to see Dallas at least. The NFL is more interesting when the Cowboys are at least in the conversation among the best teams.
Yeah, yep. I'm with you there. And we've talked about that here on the show. And same thing, kind of like we talk about the University of Texas. College football is better when Texas is good. I think the NFL is better when Dallas is good. So I'm with you there. But we agree. Don't worry. Every single Cowboy fan that heard what you just said just gave you a hearty hear.
Okay, so there's no Jerry defenders up in here.
No. Nobody around here is an apologist for Jerry Jones. You're good.
Okay, so I'm in the majority.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
The average fan, they just watch ESPN and they hear the talking heads and they really don't know what is the sentiment of the fan base. So it's interesting to just talk to people around Abilene.
Oh, yeah, no.
Well, we really hate it, and we think he's done a little bit better job of late. But, yeah, I mean, he's had so many.
Most people give credit to how it's been a little bit better to his son, Steven. He's taken more of a role. And so since he took over more of a role, they've been making a little bit better decisions. But mostly everybody gives him credit, not Jerry.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So are you a baseball fan?
All right. Here's the thing with baseball.
Here's the thing.
I grew up dreaming of being a professional baseball player.
Really?
And then somewhere, it was after the strike of 1994, I stopped watching baseball for a couple of years. I really was upset about that. Now, I can't watch a baseball game. I get sleepy.
Yeah.
It's too slow. The game is just too slow.
Yeah. They're trying to fix it. I mean, now they're only giving managers 30 seconds to go to the mound this next season.
They changed a few rules,
Yeah, they changed a few rules.
Well, I was going to speed it up, but it's not going to help.
Have you been to Coors Field?
Only once.
Oh, it's
only
only
once.
Place. It's beautiful. That's one of my favorite ballparks.
Yeah, it was a good time. It's a nice ballpark.
Oh, it's great.
There's just all these pitching changes. I remember it was a game where the score was like 11-9. It was like a 10-inning game. It was like a 4-hour game. Yeah. It was just too long.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So how about NBA? You're a basketball fan?
Oh my gosh! Now you're gonna, because again, I would say the NBA. The average NBA game is pretty boring.
Yeah.
Who wants to watch a Sacramento versus the Brooklyn Nets?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't.
December.
I'd much rather bike like 20 miles, and watch that crap.
On some windy Texas road.
Yeah, with snakes on it. So did you? I know we got to get rolling, but I'm so intrigued by this, man.
This is very cool.
Yeah, Matt, thanks for finding Steve. This is too much fun. So did you encounter any kind of like moments where you were running into something that were like legitimately scared you, whether it be a snake or a person or any of your stops where you're like, man, this kind of freaks me out a little bit?
On that first trip, I crossed the Mississippi River on this little 2-lane bridge.
Whoa.
It was the old bridge. They actually have built a new bridge between Lake Village, Arkansas, and Greenville, Mississippi. And I had a big semi behind me, and, it seemed like the truck was courteous, but I was still worried, like, oh my gosh, if he tries to pass me, you're
going to end up in
and another car coming the other way. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, so I was a little worried. The other thing,
he's out to sea.
There was one day in Mississippi I had 4 flat tires.
What?
In one day. One day.
That's terrible.
So I don't know if that fits, but I lost it.
Well, yeah, you're in the middle of nowhere with flat tires. I bet it's hard.
It can be hard.
Keep extra tires in your saddlebags?
Extra tubes, that's right.
I got you.
But it's so humbling when you're fixing a flat, and then there's cars on the highway flying past you at 65, 70, and you're so humble with your little bicycle.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is cool.
Yeah, Steve, you're one of the best guests we've ever had on the show, man. This is too good. What did you study at Denver Seminary?
I've got a master's in counseling.
Oh, cool.
So I'm a mental health therapist.
Oh, awesome.
I've had my own counseling practice.
Yeah, you're on the right show. Well, he needs it.
I'm negative over here.
Yeah, he's a pessimist. Can you help him before you leave?
I have a bad outlook.
He's a cup half empty guy. So
You're both smiling so nicely there.
it's just one of our.
It's the morning. We have fun.
That's awesome. Now, so how long were you there at Denver Seminary? Is that a 3-year program?
It was a 2-year program. It took me 3 years.
Hey, I'm with you. my THM is a 4-year program, and I'm on year 7. So don't worry, it's okay. Hey, look here, you got a tweet. At Trace Tickets, so right. Jerry Jones is an owner. Let the coaches do their job. Go Cowboys. See, so you got people tweeting and agreeing with you.
I saw another tweet. It said the garbage cans have a standing invitation to this guy's fantasy league.
Yeah, you got an invite from. We have there's a show here on the station. It's called the Fantasy News Hour.
Yeah,
a couple of our friends run the show, and so they've invited you garbage cans to be in their league next year. It's Trace Mike. Kudos to you, Quick Draw, on finding Steve Garufi. That was an outstanding interview with him, man.
Well, thanks. I mean, every now and then I'm a decent producer, not always.
When you told me that we were having him, I was immediately intrigued. Because anybody that's going to ride their bicycle across America, not just once but twice, it's somebody I want to talk to. Pretty cool. Fantasy News Hour tweets both of us. We would be honored to have Mr. Garufi in our league. We can even take the boring out of baseball and get him in fantasy baseball. That's cool. Thank you, MSP fans, for the response. He was blown away by people tweeting during the show. It was cool. Got a good picture with him. We'll tweet it out. We took a picture with him in front of his poster of the.
I've already got him followed from everything. So we followed him. We even sent out a tweet about him yesterday.
Yeah, really cool, man.
Really, he's a cool guy.
Oh, yeah,
he's your prototypical Colorado guy. The long hair,
the
hippie outlook.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's awesome.
He was cool.
But he has a counseling ministry.
I know, that's very strange.
Yeah.
I mean, not strange, but
He
unusual.
becomes a friend of the show, man.